over here, man.
Because
Even though people know,
because we're singing about black love, and it doesn't fit the white narrative.
Mad. That's mad. That's Cherry's like.
How did we get that?
Just because it was there, and I just thought, let's not skim over why R&B doesn't tick all the way over. Grime.
You think that's the reason why?
I think that's what it is.
Well, even in our own community, or are you just talking about the wider audience?
I feel like within our own community, it's like we know the real thing when we hear it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in terms of the reason why grime, we always we're all thinking, cool, let's have a network. It's how much countless amount of people have tried to build a platform for R&B over here. And because we've seen Grime Daily do this, and we've seen, what's the other one with the orange logo? Link Up and all them ting, champion this grime thing, right? And you get legions of people, backing like a Lady Leisha. White people. You get me? But it fits potentially into a narrative of where they want black people to be, the grime thing.
Wow. I see what you're saying.
When it comes to us singing about R&B and love, it's like we've got white people for that, guys. Do you get what I'm saying?
So, I hear that. I never saw it like that. Now I'm like, wow, okay.
Now you put the grime thing into the box.
It's like, it's me.
And the other one, drill. Yeah. Put the grime and drill thing into the box of like the narrative. I hear you.
Yeah, we want you guys talking about the streets and gun violence and banging up next man, and that's who you guys are, okay? Yeah. That works for us.
Don't talk about love. Don't talk about love.
Talking about love, we've got Ed Sheeran for that. Don't worry, guys. We've got we've got our people on that job.
Harry Styles.
And I feel like that's and do you know what's funny about that as well? It's the reason why it works when white people do R&B over here.
Oh man.
Because they're like, wow. It's like, I've been singing like that, bro.
Right. Well, they're not even, I'm not even gonna go there, but they're not doing it like we're doing it though. That's just true.
No, it's just different. And all I'm saying is there's no problem with it. I'm huge fans. Like Daily's one of my closest friends. You get me? Like
Daily's, but there are a few that are actually on this team. The majority are not. Daily, you can definitely put up there. Jesse J, you can put up there. Do you know what I mean? I don't know any other, but the majority of them.
There's a bag of Caucasian R&B singers. But it's definitely easier, it's palpable. Is that the word? I'm gonna research it. But you know what I'm trying to say? It's easy for them. It's easy for their palate to see it coming from their own. And that's why it's like, we'll flock to their concert. Tori Kelly can come over here and do you get what I'm saying?
True.
It's like, cool, it's coming from a white mouth. So this is all good.
Blue-eyed soul.
Right.
And it's the reason, as I keep telling everybody, why I decided to call my last EP Brown Eyed Soul.
Right.
Make it very clear from where it's coming from. I'm just saying I feel like that's at the root of it. That's the root of it. They just don't want to hear black people talking about love. We don't need that from you guys. Like, we want you guys to stay, in Peckham.
Disclaimer, anyone that lives in Peckham, we don't. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't like South London anyway.
Have you been? You don't what?
Oh gosh.
I feel like South London's the ghetto. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't what?
Dude, I feel like South is the ghetto.
See, that's conditioning, my brother.
You reckon?
See?
That's conditioning, my brother.
Man,
because they taught you to hate South London. My grandparents
systematic oppression
from Jamaica. That's where a lot of our grandparents settled. They teach you to hate it because that's where we all were. So that you've been conditioned to think that's a ghetto. Trust and believe, bruv.
You know what?
Whenever anyone harpers on to me about South London, yeah, I hate this a ghetto. It's like, why do you have that narrative? It's because you've been taught that narrative because that's where we settled. A lot of us settled. So because we settled there as the ghetto.
You see, look. Even I'm getting a look of knowledge today.
Education. It's middle-aged educational podcast.
Right.
It genuinely gets me mad when people do that. Genuinely.
Yeah,
sorry.
True. No, facts.
No, it's facts, and that's good that I'm learning that, because I, you know what? Now I'm checking myself like, wow, why do I actually think South's the ghetto?
Because you've only stayed in East, right?
Yeah, well, I grew up in North, and then I moved to East, so about 10, 15 years on each side. No, about 10 years on each side.
But really and truly, Housing's no Disneyland, bro.
No. I mean, that's Northwest. I mean, like, Stoke Newton.
Okay.
Yeah, North. So anyway, we was talking about giving UK people their flowers. That's a good segue to talk about the MOBOs. So another set of nominations landed this week.
She was nominated for something else, right? Tiana Major 9, sorry.
Grammys or MOBOs?
Both. She's got a MOBO thing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's
I'm not
the only thing they got right.
You know what I was so happy about? You see Leanne Havas.
Yeah.
That album, yeah.
The last one she just dropped.
Oh My Life, yeah. With my whole heart. Like, I feel like I absorbed that album.
Okay.
Like, I love it so much. Like, it's one of the projects that I heard it and I made me think, nah. You know, when you hear an album, you're like, I need to do an album like this. Nah, because it was so beautiful, and the vocals and just like the songs. So I'm so happy she got a nomination for that album, because for me, the album is just an absolute masterpiece. Like, I love it so much. There's songs like that I think, you know, like I always say, I'm not a crier, yeah? There's about 4 songs on that album that made me cry.
Really?
Wow.
4.
That's insane.
You know what? I haven't listened to wherever she called.
Havas.
Yeah, I haven't, you know. You know why? I'm sure there was like, and maybe I'm bad for this, like I didn't proper go and look at what she said, but I'm sure there was like a little thing about her saying, like, around blackness and not claiming blackness. There was a little something that went on.
Yeah, you're right.
There was, right? Right. Okay, I knew there was. And the older I'm getting, anytime I just sniff something like that, I'm like, nah, you're gone, you're cancelled.
What, you saying she's blacklisted?
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to see your name. I don't want to hear about no nominations. I don't care. And that's what I'm on now. Just any little sniff, like, nah.
No, baby, it was self-titled.
Is it?
That's why you couldn't remember the name.
Right, see? Yeah.
I might check out the album. If you said it's a decent album,
no, it's a bad body of work, man. Just touching upon.
I'm sorry, I feel like Cleo's Soul should have got a nomination this year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Her album, yeah.
100%.
I need to hear it. I hadn't heard it.
Airtight.
Yep.
Amazing.
That album is bad. Like, I didn't skip a song on that album.
It's a solid album. It is a solid album.
Solid.
It is, man. It is. Do you know what though? I never feel, talking about MOBOs, I feel like they always get it wrong. And this year was wild. Like the fact that they had, and this is just my opinion, right? The fact that they had like 2 years off, 2.5 years off, I thought they were going to come back with some stuff that was a little bit more on it. I just felt like, I understand where they're going. Like they want to be a little bit more commercialized. They probably want some more funding. They probably want it to be a little bit more or better received. But some of the like the presenter awards.
Let me look at this categories.
I was like, I didn't understand why they need to have media personality of the year, and I tell you why. I tell you why, because we have that, like, especially as Black people, we have other awards that celebrate Black people in the entertainment industry and in the film and movies industry. It's that music is called Music of Black Origin, like it's a music award. So have people that have them promote the music. So when I saw that, I was like, what are we doing, guys? It's great, and I'm not taking away anything from anyone that was nominated, because they've all done bits in their respective field, but not on the MOBOs. It's a music award.
I think you know what? I think the reason why this has happened as well is because this year has been a good year for a lot of content creators because of the time that we're in.
Right.
And they used to like creating content at home, becoming like YouTube stars from their living room. They flourished in this period because they didn't have to learn anything. They didn't have to go and sit down and read one book and study how to. They had this stuff on lock, and then obviously they got even more eyes on them now. Whereas like musicians, like doing like videos has been a struggle. If you don't record at home, going to studio, whatever, has been. So I think like it's become so popular that they felt like they were forced to ignore it. That they couldn't ignore it. However, I just feel like it could have been incorporated in a different way. I don't feel like it should have been a whole category for that. My opinion.
That's it.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm realizing that I'm a consumer. I don't know no one in these categories.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know no one. I know a handful of people like the Wiz Kids and the Burna Boys and the Tiwa Savages and obviously Leanne LaHavis and Ghetto and people who've put in some serious time, but for the most part, like Song of the Year, Abracadabra, Darko One, is it Asen, Digga D, Tion Wayne, Young T, don't know no one. And that's no disrespect to their thing, because obviously they've been moving and shaking, making noise and waves enough to get a MOBO nomination for Song of the Year. I don't know no one. So it's not a slight on them, it's a slight on myself, because I'm like, rah, you've definitely, do you know what it is? Obviously I'm an artist as well, so when it comes to my music consumption, it has to fall into alignment of stuff that I may want to create or that lights me up, and that's falls in line with where I'm at artistically. So with that being said, I kind of tune out the world when it comes to my consumption of music, unless it is like a Brandy album, what I had high hopes for, but that album of the year, Jay Haas, Stormzy, Leanne's in there. Everyone else I don't know.
Now. So what do you think about the R&B category? You think
okay, cool. Right, best R&B soul act: Leanne Havis, Rihanna Major 9, Weston, Mahalia, Michael
Kiwanuka,
right.
So that was my only in that.
Kiwanuka.
Did I say Kiwanuka? Shame. You see the Jamaican in me. I'll call him Corn. Michael, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Kiwanuka. I have to put the English on. Kiwanuka. That was my only not sure.
Why some category why is it only 5? And some categories like the African, there's like 12.
It's mad, and the jazz, there's mad.
Because they feel like the R&B soul has made that much of an impact this year. That's why.
Which is crazy, you know. You know what? What do we think about Western in the R&B category? Are Western another Shaka in terms of you can't box them?
You could argue that. When I saw Western, my first inkling was what? But
yeah, you was like,
yeah, at the root of it, at the core,
yeah,
it's R&B sensibilities there, you know.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Highly, yeah.
Yeah, so 100%.
That's why I'm like, yeah, okay. And you know, in terms of the hooks, that you know, it's got a lot of harmonies in there.
Yeah,
that, you know, some that might go over people's heads, but
they're doing the R&B check, like it's got a lot of harmonies in there.
You know, the chord structure.
Got a bridge. The bridge is in there.
The song sensibility. You know, like it's got it ticks the R&B boxes. So I'm like, cool. And to be fair, like again, Western is an act that, you know, we should be championing because they're
100%.
doing it. They've got they've definitely got their instant sound, you know, in my zone. Yeah. You get me? Like they know what they're doing. And yeah, that's a strong representation of what the UK is, and the talent that's here.
That wrapped up. They've got that wrapped all the way up. Culturally as well, that they've ticked a lot of boxes.
Yeah. Best album for the 2 years they're putting from 2017 to the 2019 they're lumping it all together.
What for what?
Best album.
Yeah, I can't believe Cleo is not in that category. But do you know what? You know what I've realized as well? Yeah, what I've deeped as well. Like some people that have been in the industry, so to speak, or had like major frontline deals and kind of stepped away and then now just release music. Like she's a prime example of that. Like she's been like had a major deal. I'm not sure what the situation is now, but had a major deal and was doing like, you know, like the normal shows and like doing anything. But now she's very like quite elusive. And then she just drops material, and then she just like, you don't see her like on Insta stories, you don't see her on the gram, or you don't do on YouTube or whatever. But her product is dope, and it's made me think. And I'm gonna say this so plainly, like, is some of these decisions? Are these some of these decisions down to who licks enough batty? Really and truly, yeah. Like that is one album I feel that came out this year. Did it come out this year or anyway? One album that came out that would be, if it's for 3 years that they're accumulating best album for, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like she's got a big enough profile for that to be considered.
Yeah,
agreed.
What the backside?
I agree.
Had she been out and been like, oh, soireeing and hey MOBOs and blah 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 blah, would it be different? Do you know what I mean?
Aren't all awards that way though? Aren't all awards like whoever can lick the most is gonna find themselves in the most categories and the biggest and best categories? I never feel like I see an awards like nomination list and I'm like, you know, actually all the nominees in that category, they deserve that. And I know there's always gonna be a bit of your own personal thing in there, but I just never feel like awards hit.
I feel like there was a time when you would be watching the MOBOs and you just knew like this person deserves this, that person, you know, deserves that. And you were watching, for one, you knew who everyone was, and two, it was like, yeah, cool, that's in the bag. Like we can't even say we can't use them bars anymore when it comes to award ceremonies. We don't know who's gonna take it because it's so like, what? We don't know whether it's based on streams. We don't know whether there's some label payola involved. We don't know, how the conversations they've had in terms of artists championing the campaign for the award ceremony is going to take it. You get what I'm saying? I remember when we were nominated, Fundamental, and the way we was in constant contact with the MOBOs in terms of like where we're going to do appearances, what time we was going to show up on the red carpet to get this press, that, like, make sure you're here for this, to talk to this camera and blah, blah, blah. Turn around, don't even get the Rascal Award. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, you used us, you know, right. You used our hype and the buzz from our team to obviously create awareness for the awards show. So I know that type of stuff happens all the time. And I feel like that happened to Jay-Z or Beyonce at one point, where it was like so much hype was around the nominations. I think it might have been the year where Beyonce got like 9 nominations. She didn't get nothing. That happened to someone else as well. Didn't it happen to Stormzy? Wretch. It happened to Wretch.
Happened to Wretch.
Got bare MOBO, blah, blah.
Happened to Wretch.
And they just said, we're not giving you nothing, bruv. So hold on. You're nominating me this much, which goes to show that I deserve an award. Do you get me? Like, it's if you're talking about me this much and I'm everywhere in each award, then I need to get one of them, because that just shows you what my project has done. Just that alone. If I'm in 8 different categories, you have to, by law, you have to give me one. You have to give me a category, because I'm showing you that I'm out here.
It's true. It's true.
You couldn't help but put me everywhere. So I must win something now? Nah. Shagged. Snubbed. So like, and that year, what was that? Was that the Balloon album year? What year, what album was that? The one with the hands?
Yeah, nah, it was not. It was the Balloon.
Well, it was the time when yeah.
It was the Balloon album. It wasn't the last one, was it? It wasn't. It wasn't the.
It wasn't the Balloon album.
It wasn't.
Let me see. Growing Over Life. Was it
okay. That was a solid album as well, though.
Yeah, everyone.
Every Wretch album is.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So you really think that it's about?
You don't miss.
Yeah, man.
It's about licking bum, and it's about what the label is doing behind the scenes, as far as I'm concerned, because that's just because if it's about the talent,
who's in bed
with who? Like, come on, these awards are kind of aligned with some people's whole album campaigns, you know.
True.
And you know, they're speaking to certain people from early, and some of the stuff is like a clean sweep. Cool, Taylor's gonna get.
Remember, they have a bunch of records and albums that a team, a board decides out of all of those albums which ones are going to be these. So there's stages to this, innit?
Yeah.
That also goes down to who's on the board. If someone's in particular in bed with someone who's on the board, or someone on the board prefers that label or that blah blah blah, it's all not decided by the people, really.
No way in hell.
Decided by the board.
It's true. Do you feel like some of them are out of touch? You feel like some of the people that are sat on these, definitely the Grammys. I feel like the Grammys have always been a little bit out of touch when it comes to albums. But like MOBOs, do you feel like they're like people that are not really in it and see what's going on?
No, I don't think with the MOBOs are people that are out of touch. I just feel like
I'm definitely out of touch.
No, but I mean on the board. People on the board. I don't feel like people on the board are out of touch. I just feel like everyone has their person in it. Everyone has their favourite. Like that person on the board might be tight with that person's management, or that person on the board might be tight with that person's label, or that person on the board just feel like they want to push more of a certain sound this year, or they feel like a certain sound deserves to be there, or they want something much more fresher. Like there's so many different layers to it, I feel like. There's so many layers.
100. Well, I can definitely see that there is a trend in the sound that's been pushed this year for MOBOs. Because even if you look at Best Producer, I kind of expected to see like P2J in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Progression should definitely be in
Best
there.
Producer. Hold on.
Do you know what I mean? So, but all of it's like a certain sound, and there's nothing wrong with it. I think every sound or genre deserves its time in the sun. But I think there's got to be some balance, man. Especially when this is the only thing we have. We ain't got anything else. We're not getting nominated for Brits. Do you know what I mean? We're not getting anything else. So just be a little bit more balanced.
Best Producer. I'm out of touch, guys.
Who's on the list?
Best
808 Mellow.
Yeah.
J5. Minnie and the Beat. Sir. Spyro. Steel Bangles. TSB.
Oh, there's loads. Yeah, that's a good list.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
No P2J, no.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't. He doesn't deserve to be on there.
Right.
You recognize a lot of names on that list.
Cherry does.
Cherry's down with the kids still, isn't it?
Cherry's out here.
I'm out here.
I'm resigning.
What for?
I'm gonna do a Joe Budden next week. All I'm saying is to wrap this subject up. Best of luck to Tiana Major 9. You know, and that Leanne Lahavis. You know, like Issa, I'm rooting for everyone black. And yeah, like black and UK, and let's just keep it moving and persevere. You know, these people still got money, and we obviously. Right. Yeah, one thing I will say in conclusion, is that how valid are these awards if they blatantly get it wrong all the time? You know, like when it was like, you know, when they were heralded as this thing to, you know, artistic excellence or whatever, and you're getting it wrong so many times. Doesn't matter when you don't get one, you get, because you guys got it wrong. Even like Beyonce got the most nominations for this year's Grammys, right? Or 2021 Grammys for Black Parade.
I know, innit? Mad.
I think she's probably sitting in her mansion thinking, "Are you guys dumb?"
Yeah.
Did you not see my whole visual Black is King thing? Like, you can pick one of them songs off there. Like, I was in the desert, guys. Like, Black Parade, that was just a little wrap-up tune. That wasn't even like, do you get me?
Right.
After all the things, I've done Lemonade, and you guys snubbed me, and you want to give me the song for Black Parade. You're taking a piss. That's what you're doing. So I'm saying, like, if you win, lose, or whatever, it's not even a weight on how dope you are anymore.
Right.
It doesn't even, it's not even a gauge on that. They get it wrong so many times. Like, there's no stock in the person getting the award. Macklemore got the award over Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah, that was crazy.
When's the last Macklemore album you heard? What's going on with it?
He announced that award. He was like, "Oh, I don't deserve this."
Exactly. Adele, sorry guys, but Beyonce, you get what I'm saying? They're up there thinking, what's going on? The artists themselves. So we know, like, okay, cool, Grammys, it's cute to say. And obviously, like, sometimes they do get it right. Like, you know, like a Lizzo, or like when she had her time. You get me? Like, sometimes they get it right.
But majority of times they don't. They don't get it right.
Yeah. So it's just kind of, it's neither here or there, really. It's like, cool, if you win, cool, you got that at the front of your name for the rest of whatever. Even if it's just a nomination, you Grammy nominated, blah, blah, blah. Like, you got that. But if you don't, keep it trucking, bruv.
It's true. I agree.
I don't even think Snoop, hold on, sorry, in closing, there's certain artists who ain't got legends that have a star on Hollywood and don't have a Grammy. Like, does Snoop have a Grammy? Does Nas have a Grammy?
No. I'm not gonna lie, them stars in Hollywood, they're a bit rock up.
They're not.
Them rock up, you know. Them Hollywood stars. I'm not sure.
Depends what part you go to, innit?
Listen, some of them.
If your thing's stretched down to too far, speak for yourself.
It's just like, why have I even got this?
I wouldn't say no to one, darling. I don't know.
And it's true, innit? It's true. I wouldn't say no to a Grammy, even if I was nominated for Best Latino. I wouldn't care.
Innit?
I wouldn't care, fam.
Best reggae.
Best ad-libs. Thank you very much.
I don't just give it. I'm good. I'm putting it in my mum's cabinet, fam.